Welcome back to the Manor, Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we are doing more of the Next Island story missions. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please make sure you take a second, hit the little icon in the corner here, and subscribe. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Okay, so we have to activate the 4 sensors to get a fix on the other Elysians. Here's the first one. Looks like we got 2 in this camp and 1 way up north and 1 over by that other teleporter we grabbed. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 will be over here. Oh, poo-poo. Either they don't have an aggro range, or I'm high enough level that they're not aggroing. Either way, I'll take it. These sensors kind of look like flowers. Of course, they put it in the middle of a wave event. It's a wave event that I will eventually do, but not today. Transdimensional. What is the name of that teleporter? Poo-Poo Village. Okay. When we get back to the teleporter, I need to port to Poo-Poo Village, but I can't grab the teleporter when I'm on the teleporter for some reason. I have to use the list. The objective is too close. Speaking of which, this is a really interesting town. We should explore this sometime. It looks like super cookie cutter. But I have the feeling this is all supposed to be player residences at some point. And Poo-Poo Village. There we go. And the sensor should be, oh, it's right there. Let's avoid doing a nosedive into the water and not being able to climb out. I know there has to be a way, but it would be one heck of a swim. Oh, we could probably come out right here on the corner. Red Poo-Poo Wave Event. Trying to think of what these remind me of. They remind me of something that an alien species would produce, but I can't remember the name of the alien species. Maybe the Eldar from Warhammer 40k. Actually, you know what? Instead of porting there, we're just going to drop sleep near. There might be another teleporter up here somewhere. We can find it, but I don't have it, and I'm not running through all these fences again. There's the treehouse. This is really interesting. It kind of reminiscent of Jurassic Park, actually. I mean, understanding that these enclosures are for a different reason. You got sentry turrets all over the place. Gigantic rock sticking out of the ground. Considering the lake, my only theory could be that that is a piece of an old meteorite. And look at that. We do, in fact, have a teleporter here. Biological research area. Which tells me we're probably going to have more missions out here. As long as there isn't a wave spawn event that this thing is sitting... Of course it's sitting in a wave spawn event. Urgh! Do want to take a look at this control panel a little bit. Not very visible. This one's better. Tracking time stream. What is it based on? Transwarp theory? Ape attack imminent. Okay. Mission complete. Let's go turn the sucker in. I do like how they designed it after like a flower. And I know these two have other missions, but we're not going to do those for now. I've already begun receiving reports from the sensors, and what can you tell me about the missing first waivers? I'm still compiling much of the data, but I can locate at least some of my first wave charges. Arthur Sorensen is quite nearby. He is in good health. Preliminary readings indicated a greater than 60% probability that Antonio Di Napoli is slightly west of our current location in the area known as Crystal Peak. It seems that other members of the first wave are much further west of here, but I cannot provide this information with total accuracy. Perhaps it is Shepard or Mackenzie, but this is speculation. Is that everything you know? I am still compiling much of the data, and I continue to encounter difficulties. While the parts you have brought me are of great value, I am having difficulty with certain parts of my programming. It is as if some of my circuitry is not fully functional. Does that mean you're still broken? Or do I need to get some other part for you? One section of my logical circuitry is not fully functional. I find it ironic that a small and vital piece of my wiring would cause such difficulties. Do come back later and I will tell you what else I have determined. And thank you again from the bottom of my positronic heart for all your help. You are a true Elysian, Kenichi. I'll see you later, Samuel. Okay, so that section is apparently done. Let's see what Miranda has for us. Okay, that's fashion missions, Helen Venture. Helen's Super Epic Hunting Adventure. Okay. Hey there, Newlander. I guess you've come to shower the esteemed island huntress Helen Venture with your admiration. Well, I've been hearing some rumors that you're quite the hunter yourself, so maybe I ought to be showering you. I mean, admiring you. You know what I mean. That was weird. Who, me? Yes, when I swing a sword, I usually hit something. I am. You can start calling me the esteemed island boar slayer. In that case, let me challenge you to a little hunting competition. Bring it on. Okay, I know you had it in you. Go forth and kill 10 boar. No, that's too easy. 25. No, that's nothing epic about. Kill 25 boar and 17 papu. But not the smart talking papu like Sebastian, of course. Go forth and slay 63 mutant boar and 63 dumb papu. And by dumb, I mean mute, because it's rude to judge the intelligence of a creature you can't even talk to there. That's a mission epic enough for a Newlander. Now go. How does that sound? Okay. Well, looks like we got a hunting mission. Wasn't quite what I expected, but it works. My gun is a little low. But you know what? We have all of the boars and stuff that we have up in the enclosures north of, or to the west of here, east of here. Wow. Sense of direction needs work. We'll see if those are acceptable. If they're not, then I'll have to have a LR-20 shipped in. That was a lot shorter than I expected. I expected far more story missions than that. See if these count. Nope, those do not count. Okay. Well, then we'll try the papu up by Orpheus. Orpheus's Way. I was really getting into the storyline quest, and it's like, oh, what? There's no more. So I don't know if that just means I need to find the next breadcrumb, or I need to do other missions first. If you've done a lot of Next Island story missions, please drop a comment and let me know. I would love to do more of the storyline. But breadcrumbs. We need breadcrumbs. For now, though, let's go hunt some Papoo. Hopefully the Papoo here are high enough level to actually count. Damn it. That one counts. $63 of them. That shouldn't take too long. So wow, this did not go in the direction I was expecting. Which is fine, because that, you know, that's part of the adventure to playing an MMO, right? You go in with certain expectations, and then you discover that, oh, the things are a little bit different. Come on. There we go. Maybe I should have scoped in on him and hit him in the head. Speaking of MMOs, I am picking up another series, and I decided on this after writing my vlog, or not writing, but doing my vlog yesterday, and I think I'm going to premiere it tomorrow. Between playing Entropia Universe and Borderlands, I've really been getting into the whole experience of both. I wanted to kind of mix the experience of MMOs and first-person shooter. And so I pulled out Fallout 76, waited for the hour-long update to take place, because I haven't played it pretty much since it first came out. And I've got 3 vids done, and I plan on doing a couple more today, time allowing. It's raining, so there's no fencing today, although my student's still supposed to visit so we can go over some stuff. But I'll have time this morning to work on it. I'm finding it that as the year wears on, and as the channel grows, I want to produce more and more content, and I was struggling to figure out what else could I do, because I've got Borderlands scheduled out all the way to the middle of November. I've got my one-player game scheduled out all the way to the middle of November, and I could produce more Entropia content, but I think I'd have a hard time of it, keeping it interesting. And that's one thing I tried to do, is I try to keep it interesting. Now, not always possible, but I make an effort. That's why I do things like I do the storyline missions, and I'm doing the hunting mission now to see if that helps breadcrumb the next one. And of course, Mayhem is coming up. And that should be coming up here pretty quick. It's already 25th, 26th. So I ought to check in at planetcalypso.com and see if Mayhem's been announced. Actually, I could just do this. Public events. Global instances. Nope, it's still declaring Summer Mayhem. So nothing as yet. They did this last year too. They didn't start Halloween Mayhem until like on Halloween. Which kind of makes sense, because the whole Halloween Day of the Dead thing is really more of a November celebration. But I am looking forward to Mayhem, and I'll go back to Calypso for that. So pretty quick here, my time on Next Island will be up for a little while. And then after that, I'll decide whether... After Mayhem, I'll decide whether to stay on Calypso for a while again, or move on to another planet. I would like to go back to Arcadia at some point and do the IFN missions, which I know are all hunting missions, or at least I'm pretty sure they're all hunting missions. But it is... I still want to complete them, because there's some pretty cool rewards I've heard of for doing the IFN missions. And I think it gives you the breadcrumb to get the ship that they give out on Arcadia, that I know takes like a year to get. I know people who grind that out like on a daily basis. Eventually I'll go for it, but I don't know when that'll start, because that's a pretty decent sized chain of quests. Trying to think of what else I've got. It's really kind of it. What was that? You know, I find myself hunting these Papu quite frequently. Kind of like I used to hunt bots in Orthos all the time. This has kind of replaced the bots from Orthos, although the bots from Orthos don't hit this hard, and frankly have better loot. Well, I wouldn't say better loot monetarily, but like they drop guns. And unfortunately, a lot of the junk from Next Island doesn't get used for anything, because Next Island crafting blueprints really aren't used for anything, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next Island is another one of those planets that I feel could be utilized better. It's even more underutilized than Cyrene. Which is saying something, because Cyrene is way underutilized. I would like to get back to Cyrene at some point. Which I always go back to Cyrene at some point. It's just managing to do it, taking the time. Let's see. Speaking of which, I haven't visited the Cyrene forums lately. I really ought to keep up with that stuff more. It's one of those things, like, I haven't put out any written content in over a month, and that's something I really need to, like, buckle down and do. Because once a week isn't so much to ask of myself to write an article for my website, you know? I don't know if I've just been overdoing it with video content or what. Maybe it's just me. And I know that writing is one of those things that it's a muscle you have to constantly stretch, or it ends up atrophying and you gotta work it back out again, and it's not easy. I've been a writer for a long time. You know, off and on throughout my life, but I've been doing it a long time. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to finish, so I need to buckle down at some point and just, like, finish it. Here I am sucking down my coffee. Coffee is life. Mayhem should be starting this week, come to think of it, because it's Halloween is Thursday, I think. Which means I need to put together yeah, my son and I need to put together his costume so we can trick or treat. Come on. Up and fire. We're at 28. This is going fairly smooth, which is saying something for me. Let's see. There you are. The sad part is I probably could have killed two birds with one stone by making this a controlled cost hunt as well. But I hadn't planned on a controlled cost hunt, so whatever. Actually, with Mayhem inbound, I might have to stop this particular quest before it's done, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I love the detail they put into these plants. I mean, look at this. I mean, yeah, you can see some of the lines on where the meshes fold. But even so, considering when the game was made, and keep in mind, my graphics are set on, like, Ultra, I think. Just bloody well done to the Next Island Planet partner, whoever they are or were. Because from what I understand, Next Island's now in... I don't know if it's under the custody of Mindark now, or if it's still its own planet partner and Mindark just administers... I don't know. I was given to understand that the Next Island Planet partner collapsed on itself. But, okay, we're going to head back. We're about halfway to the poo-poo section of this quest. And I know that by the time my next video comes out, we're probably going to be doing Mayhem. So, I do intend to come back and finish this. I don't know when that will be. We appear to have finished up all of the Next Island story quests. Which is kind of a shame, but, you know, it is what it is. But when we come back, I will likely be on Calypso. And if we're not doing Mayhem because it's not ready yet, then we'll be preparing for Mayhem. And I'll just do like a Math-White Hunt or something in preparation for it. So, okay guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. So make sure you subscribe. Guys, I really appreciate all the support. You all have a wonderful day.